Corinna called me the other day.
I called him at 2:30 in the morning. He was like, "Are you on drugs? What's wrong?
Corinna
Why
called
are you
me
calling me?"
freaking out in the morning at 2:30. I had a flight in 3 hours, and I was so disoriented. And I didn't pick up first, but then I was like, she could be in trouble. There could be something dangerous.
Oh, thanks for actually caring for once in my life.
So I called, and first it sounded like she was sobbing, but it wasn't. You wanted to call me because you had sex with a girl?
Yeah.
Okay. Which is a weird thing to call someone about.
I don't know. I just had to tell someone, and I just felt like you were the one for whatever reason.
Okay, this was the first girl you've ever had sex with?
Like full-blown sex.
Did you get turned on?
No, not at all. I was
David was literally like, I'm hanging up now. I have to go.
Which, listen, Corinna, this story is great, but it's more of like a 2-3 p.m. story, or maybe like a 7 p.m. story.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was the wrong time for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so explain to me the sex with the girl. How did this come about?
Well, I don't know. I've always like been joking with this girl about like having sex.
Yeah.
And like I've messed around, but like not full blown like I always knew I was into girls.
Okay, sure. So you had sex with this girl. How did this come about? It's funny because we were hanging out like previously, like 12 hours before you called me.
Yeah.
And you were talking about how one of your biggest goals before you die is what?
To have a threesome with 2 girls.
Is to have a threesome with 2 girls. And then
I hope my mom doesn't watch the podcast.
You can't watch these. You can only listen. And I think... and then literally 12 hours later, half of that goal is almost complete. You hooked up with your first female.
Yeah. Well, like I said before, I've already like done kind of things, but this was like full blown.
Was it better than hooking up with a guy? Because she like knew more about like how a girl's body works, and she knew like what you needed?
I honestly like it equally. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Like, I'm definitely going to do it again.
Sure.
But I still really like... Maybe I'll just have to have one guy and one girl.
Would you ever be in a relationship with a guy and a girl? Like polyamorous?
Yeah. Well, I've always been into the idea of, like, being in a relationship with a guy and then, like, bringing in the right girl to, like, have...
Spice up your life?
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Why?
So, no, it's just cool. It's
such a guy thing to say. Yo, it's just cool.
It's just like, that's just like amazing. Oh my God. So you're saying if you find the right person and you're dating for like 3, 4, 5 years, maybe you're married, down the road, you could see yourself introducing a girl into the mix.
Yeah. My only problem is like I'm a very, very sexualized, over-sexualized person. Is that the right word? I'm very sexual, but I'm terrified. And believe it or not, I know you guys are not going to believe it. I'm terrified of STDs.
Sure. That's normal.
Terrified.
Yeah.
So I would literally, this sounds so bad, but like if STDs weren't a thing, I'd probably sleep around like so much more. And I want to like do a lot of things with a lot of different people and like have 3-ways all the time, but I'm just too scared of like getting herpes and dying. You know what I'm saying?
I want to fuck everybody in this room right now, but I'm scared.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's why I just go home and have a box of cookies.
I mean, honestly, sometimes cookies are way more satisfying.
Interesting. And you're not scared of your boyfriend or husband at the time being more attracted to the girl that you bring in? And would you bring in a girl that's like uglier than you? So you know?
Well, that's what me and one of my good friends have this conversation all the time. 3-way is a special thing because you want it to be a hot girl, right? Because you don't want to like hook up with an ugly girl, but you don't want them to be hotter than you and more threatening. So it's really complicated. And also like they just have to be like, they can't be too close to you, but like, you know.
Yeah.
It's like picking an opener when you're a headlining stand-up comic. You want somebody good, but not better than you.
Yeah,
oh, wow,
it's
right
also
on.
Then the STD thing comes in, you make sure they're clean, like what is their past, like do you ask them for their records? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm weird. All my exes, Todd can vouch for this, before we make things official, I make them get tested.
Let's say you're hooking up with another girl and your husband, and your husband is obviously more into her than you. Do you get mad even though it was your idea?
I don't have a husband and I've never been in this scenario.
I know, but I'm curious because that's why I could never. I mean,
I'd have to trust my husband, and I feel like if I know my husband genuinely cares about me, like, no offense, but like to me, like an example of this is like hooking up with somebody who you have feelings for versus hooking up with someone in a one-night stand. The person you have feelings for is going to feel so much better in the long run. So it's like, yeah, they might have a great time that night, but like in the long run, that's your wife, you know? Like you might have a great time then, but I don't think that would hopefully change anything. I don't know. I feel like it has to be the right person again.
No, that makes sense.
I think it's less problematic than you think. I feel like if you're in love with somebody and then you happen to have some sort of sexual escapade, you're still going to be with that person you married and you love. You know?
Yeah. So, yeah. When are we setting this three-way? Just
What happened?
The Views podcast 3-way.
no, I mean, I've always joked around with this person, and
Where were you? Set the stage. Where were you? What happened?
Yeah,
what
Corinna,
night?
you
Tell
gotta
us.
explain.
Go
like,
into detail.
What were you wearing? No. You got to explain. Like, you got to
Well, I
go.
was at
Were
a
you at a
party.
party?
I was at a
Were you
part-
drunk? Was she drunk? What happened? Like, explain.
we both just were like, let's meet up. I don't want to say where we met up, but we were at somebody's house.
Great.
Well, let's just say we were at mine, and we were in the bed, and
Were you drunk?
And
no,
did-
we weren't drunk, and then all of a
Did
sudden we
it start
started
off
making out.
Did it start off as a joke? Like, oh, I'm gonna kiss you, and then it actually happened.
I mean,
Just
not
say-
that.
explain it to me real slowly.
While
from the
I
beginning.
grab myself. No, I mean we've always joked in the past, but that night it was kind of joking, but not really.
Sure.
And then
the first move?
she did.
Who made the first move?
I think she made the first move,
Wow. Okay.
and then we just started making out, and then next thing I knew, we were naked.
Oh my fucking goodness, that is insane.
Yeah.
That's honestly how Jason
But
and
it
I's
was a
brainstorming
great
sessions go too.
experience, to be honest.
We're thinking of vlog ideas, and then all of a sudden we're naked.
Yeah. We were actually brainstorming,
Yeah,
a
Jason's
collab
on
or
top of me,
something.
and I'm coming up with ways to shoot him with a paintball gun.
Yeah.
And then what? Then she just left? She stayed the night? What happened? You tell the worst story.
You literally tell the worst
I don't know what
stories.
to say.
It's like you weren't even there.
What do you want me to say? I just don't want to give too much away. People are already gonna freaking probably know.
How? How could you possibly give? It's the story. It's
Okay. No one's gonna know, right? No one's gonna know. I'm overthinking. Okay,
Make
so
sure no one knows.
I went to their house. We got naked. We did some crazy things, and then I ended up.
Corinna.
Wait,
You're the worst storyteller. We went to their house. We did crazy, insane, unbelievable things you guys
Do you
couldn't
want
even
me to be
imagine.
like, yes,
and then
she
I left.
took off my pants and ate my pussy.
No,
Like,
that's
do you
not
want me
what
to
I'm
say?
saying. It's like the Corinna. Jason's like, that's what I'm talking about. No, I'm saying like, there's a lot of people that haven't hooked up with the person of same sex. Like, there's people that haven't experimented. Like, how did that even? Like, I can't even like.
Okay, like I said, it started as a joke. We've
Oh, okay.
always joked around. We've always been like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna fuck you, but like we were friends already, so it wasn't anything crazy.
Sure.
And then one night I went over there thinking it was gonna be the same joking friendship, and next thing you know, we were making out on her bed.
Okay, I feel like you skipped
And
like an important part.
What was the important part?
Who was the top in the relationship? Who like took charge?
Now you're
She
getting
did.
into like a weird part.
I think she did.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like I said, that's why I went over there, not knowing that we were gonna hook up.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
You want to give her a little shout out right now? Who's this girl we're talking about?
Wait, what?
Did you text her the next day?
She actually sent me a good night text.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, and now this is the other end. This is who Corinna hooked up with. You want to introduce yourself?
I hate you.
Natalie.
Wait, there was something I wanted
Oh my
to
God!
say
If you
because
had, if you and Natalie were hooking up, I would move back to my hometown and I'd never come back again.
No, you would be extremely horny all the time.
Are you on crack, Corinna?
No,
you
I am
think
not.
that's what turns me on?
You are in love with Natalie, and the thought of women hooking up with each other. Don't even lie.
Oh, actually, that's not true.
Okay.
Well, that's great, Corinna.
Thank you, Corinna, for sharing with us.
Thank you for
that
that.
story. I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I'll be back to continue the podcast.
We're gonna take a break right now, guys. David needs a minute.
maybe 10, maybe 25.